Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sports Source, your number one source for sports. I am your host, Vince Tabulo, and today our topic is going to be LeBron James' free agency decision. Cue the action music. I don't know if that'll actually get it in, probably not. But, alright, so today we're going to be talking about LeBron's free agency destinations during the offseason. Now, there are three, I guess, technically four big ones that I see. And, yeah, so let's get right into it. The first free agency stop I have for LeBron James would be the Philadelphia 76ers. So, the thing about the Sixers is you have these two all-star caliber players next season. Next season, you have these two all-star caliber players in Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. And, of course, obviously they're good, but LeBron, okay, so my big problem with this is that Simmons can't shoot if you were for his life. He's just not a good shooter. He just doesn't like shoot the ball. Embiid, he's decent. He's a decent floor spacer for a big man. It's not the greatest, but he's there. He's not your worst option. He's not your best option, but he's not your worst option either. So maybe if LeBron does go there, they could actually work on that with Embiid, kind of like how back when LeBron was in Miami, how Chris Bosh had to kind of adjust his game to play with LeBron because LeBron needs the paint. He can't function without paint, but the thing is, Embiid is a paint-predominant player, so if Embiid doesn't get touches in the paint, you don't want to see, Joel Embiid is a great player, and you don't want to see him just lose everything by being just a floor spacer. You don't want that to be a specialty. You don't want him to grow into that, because he can be something very special. He can be a great player as long as he can stay healthy. That's another thing. Yeah, so those are my problems with it. If LeBron were to come, they would need to. They have Covington, so that's a good three. That's a great floor spacer for him, a 3-and-D guy. It's good because Cavs don't play defense right now. So you have that floor spacer right there, as well as they need to re-sign JJ Redick. He's making, I think, $23 million or something like that, but they need to make sure that he comes back, because JJ Redick, obviously, is a 3-point specialist. They be kind of like your Kyle Korver. I could imagine they try to sign him to a little less money, but that is definitely someone they need to bring back, as well as maybe signing signing someone like Wayne Ellington or something to come off the bench as a 3-point specialist as well. And then, like I said, with injuries and stuff, you never know if Simmons will stay healthy. Well, Simmons will probably stay healthy, but you never know about Embiid. And then Fultz is coming off that injury where apparently apparently his shot's growing and it's getting better, but, he hasn't been able to shoot the basketball for, 4 months. It's all about time, and, you need to see, yeah, those are big things that you need to see happen for the Philadelphia 76ers. They need floor spacing, and to stay healthy. And if they want LeBron to come to Philly, they want LeBron to come to Philly. They need to show that they can actually win games without LeBron. They need to show that they're not just a team that's decent and could make the playoffs. They need to show that they can win without LeBron to try to convince LeBron to come to Philly. So the second team on our list would be the Houston Rockets. Now, the problem with the Houston Rockets, obviously, is the cap. Now, realistically, the team is pretty good for him to go to. I mean, James Harden and Chris Paul are pretty both ball dominant already, but they've proved that they can make that work this season, so Mike D'Antoni is a great offensive coach. I'm sure he'd be able to figure it out, how to integrate LeBron at the offense. So I'm not too concerned about that, as they've showed that Chris Paul and James Harden being super ball dominant players it's not going to affect them. So that's not my concern. My concern is a cap. So the problem is that I guess, at the cap. So like there are two like major options that they have, and that would either be like they'd have to clear Ryan Anderson's cap and Eric Gordon somehow. You'd have to figure out how to get those two out of there. But the problem is getting rid of your depth. That's getting rid of a lot of key depth. So like you could do a sign and trade, or you could just get rid of the cap. Try to find someone that would want to take on. I highly doubt people would want to take on Ryan Anderson's contract, but you never know if you're packaging him with like Eric Gordon. That could be appealing to someone. Like, you never know how good he would play with an actual starting role, as he's always on the bench. But so you trade, like, let's say they do a sign and trade. You trade Eric Gordon, Ryan Anderson, and like a first, maybe 2 first-round picks for LeBron James. Or you break up the cap the other way, which would be probably giving Ryan Anderson and Eric Gordon up for like who? I'm trying to think who, like, what, I don't know. Well, you get the point. Like the Brooklyn Nets or something. No, they have a lot of bad contracts. Like, you'd want to give it to a team that, like, I don't know, whatever. It's not important, but you just have to either break up the cap that way. Yeah, but if they were to get LeBron via free agency, they'd have to get rid of Clint Capella. Yep. You'd have to get rid of Eric Gordon and Ryan Anderson. Well, Ryan Anderson mainly. Maybe you could find a way to keep Eric Gordon, but your lineup would be Chris Paul, James Harden, LeBron, Capella, the 5, obviously. I don't know who would run the 4. Maybe they'd sign someone. I don't know much about the Rockets. I've come to terms with that. But then you want to try to sign Trevor Ariza back, who is in free agency for them. That is an important key piece to that. You want to get as much depth as you can with this team. And, yeah. Alright. So, the next team. Who doesn't know what the next team would be? It is obviously the Los Angeles Lakers. I saved this one for last because, well, you're not making a video. You can't tell me what to do. So, the Los Angeles Lakers have some people. Okay, the first thing I want to get out of the way is that some people say if they go after LeBron and Paul George and Carmelo and Klay Thompson and all the people the Los Angeles Lakers say they want to target, people are saying they should just leave it and just let their young core develop, which I'm all for. But I'd also like to see them start winning. So, I mean, Magic Johnson's the man in the chair, so whatever he does is, well, what the Lakers do. So, basically, though, my Lakers have obviously cleared all. They've been spending the past year or two, I guess a year technically, trying to, clear up as much cap as they can, and they've proved that they've done that as they have gotten rid of Timothy Mozgov, which is the whole reason of the Brook Lopez trade. So they traded D'Angelo Russell and Timothy Mozgov for Brook Lopez, is expiring contract, and the Brooklyn first. I can't remember. I'm not sure, but they traded Mozgov for all that, and D'Angelo, and in return you got Kyle Kuzma and Brook Lopez until he, his free agency. So I guess it's not terrible. I mean, yeah. But the main purpose of that was to get rid of the contract, and that's what they did. And then, so for the Lakers free agency, you were going to have Corey Brewer, Brook Lopez, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Those are 3 people. No, they just traded Corey Brewer. I'm down. No, they didn't trade him. They bought him out. Oh my god. Whew, that's rough. I was so confused for a second. I was like, he's on the Thunder now. But yeah, they bought Corey Brewer out. So now the only people are Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Brook Lopez that'll be hitting free agency, as well, and there'll be Julius Randle. And those are like the key ones, pretty much, like the big caps that they need to get rid of. Those are the big expiring contracts. And then they obviously just traded Oh, and Isaiah Thomas, I guess, but he's only making $6 million, but it's still an expiring contract. But that's the they just traded Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance, obviously, in a part of the big blockbuster deal for Isaiah Thomas, and yeah. So basically, the Lakers' whole initiative, yeah, I think that's right, is to get two max free agents, and now they have the cap to do that, as their, you know, yeah. So basically, I think for the Lakers free agency, this is going to go into the Lakers free agency because this all has to work. I'm a Lakers fan. I'll talk about it for all I want. Fuck you. Yeah. Alright. So in order for the Lakers to sign LeBron James, the big piece is, in my opinion, is Paul George. If they don't get Paul George, I don't think LeBron's signing there. If they don't get Paul George, LeBron, I don't think there's any point in signing there. Maybe they could get Klay Thompson next year, but I doubt they could get LeBron to commit to the Lakers without Paul George. So if they don't get Paul George, they don't get LeBron. If they don't get LeBron, they're not as appealing. If they don't get Paul George, they're not as appealing. If they don't get anybody, if they don't get anybody this year, if they don't get anybody next year, they failed. They failed what they're trying to do. And that's their problem. But that's why you can't just rely on free agency for rebuilding a team. And it's not like they are. Like, they're kind of trying to do what the Warriors did, just maybe rushed, I guess. Yeah, yeah, I would call it that. So, like, if they were to sign LeBron and Paul George, the starting lineup would probably, Lonzo, obviously, Paul George at the 2. I feel like Ingram at the small forward, LeBron at power forward, and then center Zubac? Or no. If they were to get Randall back, they could run small ball, but I don't think they could get Randall back, so maybe they run Ingram at power forward and LeBron at small forward. They could do either one. They can fluctuate a lot with that. Off the bench, I have Kyle Kuzma. Yeah, whatever. Freaking Kuzma. They'd have 2 box as well, I guess. Josh Hart. I don't know who they'd run at center. I guess they'd have to run Zubac there because they don't have Larry Nance anymore. If they still had Larry Nance, they could run him as their small ball 5, but they don't have him anymore. So if they don't get Julius Randle back, they need to sign some kind of center in free agency unless they want to roll with Zubac there, which isn't the smartest thing in my opinion. But, I mean, that's what you just got to do. So the final team is the Cavs, obviously. LeBron couldn't want to stay back in Cleveland. He said he wants to retire in Cleveland, so you never know if he just wants to stay in Cleveland now or if he's just going to leave and come back later. It's up to him, obviously. It's his decision, not yours. The Cavs, if he wants to continue contend, God, I don't even want to get into it, to be honest. Like, they got to get that defense up, man. I didn't think that if they wanted to contend, they'd need a third star. Like, they don't get a third star, they're not contenders, basically. I think they can contend, because, if you got LeBron, you're instantly a contender, but, like, if they don't have that guy, that go-to guy, like Kevin Love, he can't really create his own shot. Like, he can post up and stuff, and, like, but he's more of a spot-up shooter, and, like, occasional post. They're trying to get him more post touches, obviously, as that's what they've said all season. And he's playing good. He doesn't play bad, but it's just not Timberwolves Kevin Love. And I think they need that second go-to guy, which they obviously really miss with Kyrie. And they thought they had that with Isaiah Thomas, but Isaiah Thomas is just hot garbage. And yeah. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more. Comment down below where you think LeBron is going to go and make his free agency decision. If you guys have enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Grab a cup of tea, watch some more, and peace out, my friends.